Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, my fellow Chibits. Today, I'm here to bring all of you another anime review of Dragon Ball Super. I'm quite interested in those fighters Goku and Vegeta and them are going to have to fight. I saw a character amongst them that reminded me a lot of Frieza and Cooler. Now, I'm interested in the Frieza character. I'm not even going to begin to deny that. I'm very interested in that Frieza character design. But I'm really interested in that person in the background that looks a lot like Cooler. He looks very, very, very similar. And I'm curious about that. Is that Cooler? Now, as we know, Cooler was technically in a movie, so it's not really officially canon as many would consider it. So this would be a really cool way to introduce someone that could be Frieza's brother, if that really is. I mean, that would be really cool to find out if, you know, that person we see that looks like Frieza is really Frieza, and then you see that person that's next to Frieza actually his brother, Cooler. I would love that. I would really love that if that was really him, because that design reminds me a lot of him. I mean, his colors are a little bit different, but I mean, this is a different universe. These different contestants that we're seeing are from another universe, so of course there'll be quite distinct differences, which we can see are very apparent in this episode, because we get to see a Saiyan that was introduced, Vegeta and Goku met, and apparently the original planet, before it was blown up and destroyed and stuff, and then, you know, the Saiyans had to move to planet Vegeta, apparently that planet's still around, and the Saiyans are now kind of global police. Like, they're helping people out, and they're, you know, destroying evil people, pretty much, villains and stuff, and the Saiyans are actually good guys in the other universe. And as we know from our universe, Saiyans are a warrior race that goes around, and they were stealing planets, and they were destroying planets, you know, different type of shit. And so seeing the differences between the Saiyans' upbringing, it really adds a variety of different things that the series can do from this point onward, because finding out that a different universe can have these different type of setups with the story, it makes me wonder all sorts of things. Like, does that universe have a Majin Buu? I mean, think about that. If this other universe has Saiyans as well, and then humans, and then, you know, Supreme Kais and stuff like that, that would mean that there's a possibility of another Majin Buu. There's a possibility of maybe the Red Ribbon Army still being around or something. I mean, we know Earth's not really there, but I mean, there could be a variety of different things that, you know, the story could do. And I mean, if you think about it like that, if Frieza is around, I mean, if that is Frieza, is that evil? Is that person evil? Is that person not? I mean, I'm so curious right now, because, I mean, there's many things now that you could take from this, like, the story can go. Like, after this arc is done, after this fight is done, there's so many other adventures that could be done now, because, I mean, you have all these universes, all these different universes, probably with different races and different things like that, evil, villains, and good guys and stuff, gods. It just really opens your eyes to how big the universe of Dragon Ball Super is at this moment, just because of seeing these characters that were introduced to us in this episode. But like I said, though, I'm really looking forward to that Frieza character, and then also the person that reminds me a lot of Cooler, because that Frieza character, obviously, for a character design to look like that, it looks very similar to Frieza, and since the last arc was focusing on Golden Frieza, it makes me assume that that person probably is very, very strong. Now, the main thing is that person is strong as Golden Frieza, or a little bit weaker. That's left to be determined. So, besides that, let's look at a couple of other things going on in this episode. So, Goku and Vegeta, they're sparring in this episode, and they are in the hyperbolic time chamber fighting it out, and eventually, you know, I think 3 years passed. I think that's exactly what the translation said. 3 years passed, and they had training for that long. So, I'm glad we got some clarification of how long Vegeta and Goku trained in the hyperbolic time chamber, and how much more they probably improved themselves after, you know, that entire thing with Golden Frieza. So, one thing I want to point out is Goku and Vegeta have a fucking beard mustache, like a goatee. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, I was watching this episode, and I see that scene. I was flabbergasted. When I saw Goku just instant transmission, he was there, and you just see this beard and mustache right here on Goku. I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, Goku, okay, look, we know Saiyans can get facial hair. I mean, we've seen it on Vegeta's father, okay, King Vegeta. We've seen this. And if you're counting GT as well, even though many don't count GT, I know why. But, I mean, if you're counting GT, we know Vegeta had, you know, mustache and goatee and shit. So, this ain't relatively new. But seeing Goku, just FYI, Goku, with a beard and mustache, like a fucking bushy goatee, I'm like, what? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, give us more. Give us fucking more. Just give me more Goku. He actually looks pretty fucking badass like that. If he trims a little bit, he'd probably look like a badass motherfucker. I'm not even joking. Goku probably look really badass if he kept that type of beard and mustache. Like, it just, you know, trim it down, make it look like a really good goatee. I could imagine Goku just kicking some good kicking ass, you know, with that beard and mustache. It'd just be fucking badass. So, yeah, that came as a surprise when I was watching this episode. I'm like, what? Oh, yeah, and one last thing I want to say, though. This episode, in terms of animation, I noticed Toei Animation is stepping it up just a little bit. I mean, it's not the best, but I can see that they've been trying to step it up a little bit in recent episodes. Maybe it's because of Akira Toriyama saying what he said on Twitter, and Toei Animation probably got upset. They're like, holy shit, even the creators, you know, calling us out on this. We need to really step our game up. Hopefully, that kind of bitch slaps Toei Animation into the proper, you know, correct road or path, because recently, in, you know, the latest arcs, Dragon Ball Super has looked abysmal compared to Dragon Ball Z, and that's kind of scary, and Dragon Ball Z is very old compared to Dragon Ball Super, so to see how they slightly have been improving a little bit, at the very least they're not fucking up Vegeta's face anymore, I'm kind of satisfied with that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.